What if I told you you could be doing the right thing for your family and still lose double your income over 10 years without even realizing it? Yeah, today we're talking about the hidden cost of what many call black tax. Now, the term black tax is often associated with South Africa, but this phenomenon is widely experienced across many African countries and even in developing parts of Asia and South America. So for the purpose of this video, I'll refer to it simply as family tax. There has been a lot of discussion and research on this subject, and most agree on one definition. It is the money that workers, especially professionals, give to support their parents, siblings, or extended family, often out of obligation because of the sacrifice their families made for them to succeed. And let's be clear, this comes from love. But here's the reality. It's not just what you send home, it's what it silently takes away from your future. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what that cost looks like. Let's take Martin, for example. Martin earns a net income of $57,000 per year. He's married and has one son. He's responsible, hardworking, and like many people, he supports his family. On average, he sends 25% of his income. That's $57,000 salary, 25% equals $14,250 per year. Now, over 10 years, that becomes $142,500. That's $142,500 going toward food, rent, school fees, emergencies. And again, that's real impact. But now, here's where it gets interesting. What if some of that money had been invested instead? Let's take Daniel. Same salary, $57,000. Also married with one child. But instead, he adjusts his approach. He structures his finances. 10% goes to family. 15% goes into investments. That's $5,700 per year for family and $8,550 per year invested. Over 10 years, he sends $57,000 to support his family and invests a total of $85,500. So he's still helping his family, just in a more balanced and intentional way. Now here's where things begin to change. That 15% invested consistently at an average return of 8% per year, after 10 years becomes approximately $134,000. So now Daniel has supported his family and built a growing financial asset. And by year 10, the returns from that investment are starting to catch up with and eventually exceed what he contributes each year. And here's the real shift. Daniel is no longer just sending money. He's building something that can eventually sustain that support. Because at some point, that investment begins to generate income. That income starts supporting his family, and over time, the pressure begins to decrease. One of the greatest lessons in money is this. Financial decisions are rarely just about numbers, they are about behavior. Wealth is not determined by what you earn, but by what you keep and how you manage it over time. Because when you are constantly supporting others without structure, your ability to build stability slowly disappears. And money is not just about numbers, it is about control. And when your financial life is driven by obligation alone, you begin to lose that control. It's about managing what you have with wisdom and purpose. Our time, our resources, our abilities all require stewardship. In the parable of the talents in Matthew 25, Jesus describes servants who were each given resources according to their ability. And the expectation was clear. They were to multiply what they were given. The servant who did not was called wicked and lazy because he failed to steward what was entrusted to him. So the question becomes, what are you doing with what you've been given? So what does this mean for you? It means taking back control, not with selfishness, but with clarity. The truth is simple. You cannot pour from an empty vessel. And if your desire to help others destroys your own foundation, your stability, your ability to grow, then in the end, no one truly wins. Support with wisdom. Build with discipline. Because a life grounded in wisdom does not just give, it endures.